Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome back to revision session. Globalization and the Indian economy. Earlier we have seen meaning of globalization as well as production across the countries and interlinking production across the countries, where we have seen three different routes to foreign investment. Foreign investment, first we count by joint venture or partnership. Second, by taking over or buying up the local companies. And third, by placing orders to the local companies. One more I would added last time, which is foreign direct investment. When in the case of investment, foreign companies directly invest into other countries without these three rules. Direct investment. If they purchase assets directly, that is called foreign direct investment. So now let's see the other dimension, one other aspect of globalization, important aspect of globalization, which is foreign trade. So foreign trade and integration of market. As we know that foreign trade is not a new thing. But long time ago, that foreign trade has been the main channel which connected different countries of the world. Even countries were not existed that time, but kingdoms and empires. So India was well connected with different parts of the world: South Asia, Southeast Asia, Eastern Asia, Central Asia, as well as Europe and Africa as well. So it was a trade route. It was a trade which connected different countries. So here foreign trade creates opportunity for the producers. Why foreign trade is important? Because it creates an opportunity for producers to reach beyond the domestic market. Because if local producer without foreign trade cannot go beyond the boundaries of the country, but through foreign trade a producer can sell sorry products and services across the countries. So here for the buyers too, imports of goods produced in another country is one way of expanding choice of goods beyond what is domestically produced. So we can get advantages from foreign countries through foreign trade. In general, with the opening of trade, goods travel from one market to another. Choice of goods in the markets rise. Prices of similar goods in two markets tend to become equal. And producers in two countries now closely compete against each other, even though they are separated by thousands of miles, but different countries. Producer from America or from China can compete with Indian producer in the local market as well as in the international market. Local market, that means Indian market; international market, that means market in other countries. So foreign trade thus resulted in connecting markets or integration of markets in different countries. In this context, we have seen example of Chinese toys in India, not present, but we have discussed before in 1990s when Chinese producers began to sell their toys in Indian market, and impact of it we have seen. Of course, positive impact on buyer side and somehow negative impact on producer side. Producer side means local producer side, Indian producer side. So this is about globalization, and we have seen that what is globalization. So in the past 2-3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for locations around the world which would be cheap for their production, because as earlier mentioned, the aim of an MNC is to earn maximum possible profit. So to maximize their profit, they search for cheap raw material as well as labor, skilled and unskilled labor at lower cost, at lower wages. At the same time, foreign trade between countries has been rising rapidly. A large part of foreign trade is also controlled by multinational corporations. So, for instance, the car manufacturing plants in India, because there are so many multinational companies, automobile companies. They produce in India, they have plants in India, offices in India, as well as they sell in India. Moreover, they also export from India to different countries where their products are highly demanded. In this case, there are many examples like Honda Motors, Toyota Kirloskar. We have seen about the Ford, Hyundai, Kia Motors, right? So those are some of the examples. And one example we have seen about the Ford Motor Corporation, an American company established in India in 1995. Then after began production of car as well as exporting of car, and then in the last they set up a plant, special plant for producing powertrain engine, and they also export engine from here as well as they export cars, ready-made car from here, finalized goods. So here these are examples of multinational corporations. So the result of foreign investment and greater trade has been greater integration of production and market across the countries. So here we have seen meaning of globalization. So globalization is the process of rapid integration or interconnections between economies. What is globalization? Rapid connection as well as integration. You can count as interconnection or integration between different countries. And in globalization phenomena, with the economic perceptions, here we count different countries are connected through foreign trade and through foreign investment. And basically, in foreign trade and foreign investment, in the process of globalization, MNCs play major role. So earlier we have seen multinational corporation, generally a company, a firm, right, which has control over production or sale in more than one nation is called multinational corporation. Generally, multinational corporations they have their headquarters, main office in their parent nation. Parent nation means the country from the multinational corporation originates. Alright, as well as they have plants, offices, branches, retail chains in different countries. So more and more goods and services and investment and technology are moving different countries, and nowadays we add one more thing apart from goods and services, investment and technology, and one more, that is human, because besides movements of goods and services, investments and technology, there is one more way which the countries can be connected. This is through the movement of people, businessmen, entrepreneurs, traders, workers, skilled and unskilled workers. All those means human people. People move from one country to another one because of many different reasons, possibly for the trade purpose, entrepreneur for set up industries, as well as traders for trading purpose, workers for seeking better job, some people for skilled and unskilled workers for searching better job and sometimes for better lifestyle, higher lifestyle. So those are the reasons why people move from one country to another. But in past few years, we observed that movement of people between countries that reduced due to certain restrictions, that what we call that entry, visa, work, because restrictions put by the government, respective government of the. So this is about the globalization. Is the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. Now let's see factors that have enabled globalization. Meaning of globalization, we have seen. So which factors play important role in enabling globalization? We have counted first technology in transportation, second information and communication technology, third one liberalization. Let's count in brief. Rapid improvement in technology has been one of the major factors that has enabled globalization, which has pushed the globalization. So here technology we bifurcates into two: technology in transportation, and second one technology here information and communication. Technology in information and communication. IT, information technology and communication technology. So here first about transportation. Due to development of technology, nowadays we know that transportation has become cheaper, at the same time faster and easier compared to previous decades, few decades back. Traveling from one country to another, it's not a big deal nowadays. Yeah, nowadays means due to this pandemic, as we know, that difficult. But think about before this pandemic, easy, right? Purchasing air ticket is not a big deal. As well as too many scheduled flights were available, so easy to go from one country to another, even from India to America or India to Japan or any corner of the world. Easy. At the same time, here aircraft mainly carry human, means people. What about goods here? Because for us, for globalization, we know that transportation of goods is more important. So due to cheaper, efficient and faster sea routes through ships became easier. At the same time, transportation of goods through flights also became cheaper and easier. So nowadays we know that earlier we have seen for transportation of goods, containers we use. Various goods we load in containers. Then that containers easy to move from one place to another through trucks, means through land, on land through trucks. Second, railway as well on land. Third, ships, sometimes aircrafts as well. And transportation through containers, that cheaper as well as safe. Easy to move those containers through cranes and machines. Now about information and communication technology. Even more remarkable have been the development in information and communication technology. We know that smartphone and internet have changed the world. Smartphones and internet have changed the world. Yes, of course we count computer too. So smartphones, computers and internet have changed the world, because communication has become too much faster just on fingertips. No matter it's about that WhatsApp, a video call, instant messaging, as well as accessing websites, live webinar, as well as email, and all lots of things nowadays became faster on just the fingertips. no matter it's about a computer mouse or smartphones, the screen became faster at the same time at the negligible cost, connecting a person or a country, a person or a company from one country to another is just too much faster, and that also is negligible cost, instant, right? So this technology, technology, information and communication has pushed the globalization. More here, we have seen example about use of information and technology. Information and use of information and technology in globalization, we have seen through examples about a magazine, right? So if you don't remember, kindly watch the previous videos, because right now I am just taking revision. So discussing in brief. Now one more, we have seen liberalization of foreign trade and foreign investment policy. So liberalization is removing restrictions. Liberalization means freedom, free, by removing restrictions. So here liberalization means removing barriers or restrictions set by government is what is known as liberalization. So about liberalization, we have discussed before that after independence, we know that our economy was collapsed. Nothing India had. Industries, those were on oxygen. Means all collapsed, were dying. Most of the industries were shut off actually. Agriculture situation was not good too. So in this case, government at time wanted to develop industries in India, local industries. So to give protection to local industries, certain barriers, restrictions were imposed by the government. By these restrictions, foreign trade and foreign investment came under control through the barriers, such as trade barriers. But for a long time, for a couple of decades, those barriers were kept on foreign investments and foreign trade. But because of liberal and intelligent person, I would like to say intelligent, an economist or former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who suggested liberalization in India in 1991. So starting around 1991, the government decided that time had come for Indian producers to compete with the producers across the globe. It felt that competition would improve the performance of the producers within a country, since they would have to improve their quality. This decision was supported by some powerful organizations. Thus, barriers on foreign trade and foreign investment removed to a large extent, but not overnight, but gradually. And this policy of liberalization, helped developing globalization in India. So the government imposes much less restriction than before, and therefore said to be more liberal. It doesn't mean that 100% we are liberal. Yes, there are certain restrictions, and time to time, if required, government put some restrictions, and if required, remove some restrictions. So this is about factors that have enabled globalization. Next, we will see World Trade Organization and conclude the chapter. Afterwards, I'll begin extra question and answers for you, and I'll provide you notes as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Keep watching.